All right, so we had another awesome night for Boston. I'm going to start off with the Celtics. If you only care about the Bruins, go to here. Celtics got the brooms out yesterday for Philly. They beat them in 4 games. Really wasn't all that competitive. Philly was just outmatched. Granted, they didn't have Ben Simmons, but the Celtics didn't have Hayward. But would Ben have made a difference to me? No. They probably would have gotten a game. But even fully healthy, the Sixers they don't have it this year. And the Celtics are good, so I just think the Celtics had too much firepower and Philly just couldn't handle it. There were a couple close games, but we finished strong. Kemba did really good. His knee is holding up fantastic. Kudos to the Celtics medical staff for being able to ease him in. A lot of the time that doesn't really work, but they did it flawlessly. And he looks 100% to me. I mean, if he's not, he's doing a good job of hiding it because he's playing great. And then obviously, the two wings, the young guns, Tatum and Brown, awesome the whole series. Yeah, there's really not a whole lot to say about Celtics Philly. It's really funny to me because Philly fans love to talk shit. I mean, you guys should see my mentions whenever I say something bad about them. It's quite funny. But a couple years ago, right? The year where Kyrie and Gordon didn't play. The Celtics beat Philly in 5 games. That was a couple years ago. And, they have the whole trust the process thing. Okay. A couple years later, they traded a lot of people. They spent a shit ton of money. They come back. They play the Celtics again. They get swept. So somehow they got worse. That's funny to me. I find that very amusing. And it helps me sleep at night. But yeah, there's not a whole lot to say about this series because there just wasn't a lot to talk about. The Celtics look good. The better team won, and that's pretty much it. Now up next we have the defending champs. I can tell you one thing: the Raptors are going to put up a much better fight than Philly did. I saw today that Kyle Lowry was getting a MRI on his ankle. He tweaked it in one of the Brooklyn games. Don't know how bad it is. Will that impact the series? For sure. He's a great player. I'm still picking the Celtics regardless. I just think they have the best players. They're more talented. So I'm going to go with the Celtics in 6. What's your prediction for the Celtics? Comment below. Let me know. Now the Bruins. The Bruins advanced on Carolina. Took care of business. They had looked really strong, kept the Carolina previous to the series, and the Bruins made them look silly. That being said, I think the biggest issue with the Bruins during that series was their inability to finish their chances. And I said, if they are unable to put the puck in the net on the chances they get, like they did in Carolina, if they are ineffective on finishing, they will lose. So last night happened, and they were better. They executed more of their chances. Keep in mind, Vasilevsky's a very good goalie, so he's going to make some really good saves. But they did enough to win. So that's a very important thing, finishing their chances. They have to be good at that this series, or they are done. Second big thing is Halak. Rask is done. This series is going to have a couple of back-to-backs. Games 2 and 3 are back-to-back, and then games 6 and 7, which is honestly really fucking stupid. I don't want a game 7 on the second night of a back-to-back. I just think that's asinine. And especially considering Halak's 35. And it does worry me a little bit that he has to play all these games. I really don't see the Bruins starting Vlad. Halak's their guy. But yeah, Halak was fantastic. The 2 goals that he gave up, unfortunately, I think both of them hit Charlie McAvoy. Were they good shots? Well, the second one, there was like 20 billion people in front of the net. And it hit someone, went in, whatever. The first one was a really dinky wrist shot from the point, and I don't think he saw it until very late, but again, it hit McAvoy, bounced in. It was just unfortunate. But that being said, I think Tampa got a little unlucky. A couple bad bounces. A couple, it hops off someone's stick, whatever. I think the Bruins got bailed out a few times because we were in the third period. We went up 3-0, and I was like, this doesn't feel like a 3-0 game. Tampa had plenty of chances, and credit to Halak. He was fantastic. He kept them. I think he got the Bruins the win. There were other facets of the game that did really well. But Halak was star number one in my book, but it was 3-0. I was like, there's no way that Tampa should have 0 goals right now. So the chances were there. I think going forward, the series is going to be a lot closer. It ended up being a close game anyways. They were up 3-0, and all of a sudden, with a minute and a half left or whatever it was, they're within one. So I was like, of course they have to give us a fucking heart attack because they've had 0 comfortable wins thus far. So why start now? You got to give your fans a stroke. I think that's part of the deal with the playoffs. They are not allowed to win unless they shave years off of their audience's life. But yeah, it was funny because 3-0, you should feel pretty comfortable up 3-0. I did not. I ended up kind of being right because it ended up close at the end. But Tampa's too explosive. Unless it's like 4 or more, which probably is not going to happen. I'm not going to feel comfy. I'm always going to be on edge because Tampa can put them up at any point. They can explode. They're just so talented. I think they're the most talented roster in hockey. They can put up 3 in a minute and, all of a sudden you're down. It's very apparent to everybody that these teams hate each other. They hate each other's guts. It was pretty physical last night, but as far as the aggression goes, like the after the play stuff, getting nasty, whatever, I feel like it was pretty tame. I don't think that's going to be the case going forward. I think there's going to be a lot more scrappiness in the upcoming games because I think over time in the series, things are going to boil to a breaking point, and then you're going to see guys absolutely lose it. I'm willing to bet a lot on that fact. The perfection line looked awesome. It's good to see Pasta is back and healthy again. They're going to have to be perfect. They're going to have to live up to their name if the Bruins want to win this series because I think Tampa is deeper than us, scoring. They have a deeper lineup than the Bruins do. The Bruins have the best line, but the Tampa has more depth. Perfection line, you got to do your part to, keep up with that. I want to see them come into game 2 really aggressive. If we can go up 2-0 in this series, that would be so nice. You have a little bit of a cushion. The margin for error is a little bit more. That allows you to free up your game, play a little more at ease, take some of the pressure off. And I think that can really help the Bruins. Really hoping for the stranglehold game. If they can go up 2-0, prediction time. I tweeted this last night. I think this series has 7 written all over it. And I'm going with Boston. Bruins in 7, baby. But yeah, overall, Celtics win. Bruins win. They are combined 9-1 so far in the playoffs. It's good to be a Boston fan. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think about anything, really. Whatever you guys want. As always, like and subscribe, and yeah.